Hello, my name is Animus of va.games. Today I'd like to discuss the very subtle concept of symbiosis and how players that work well together can exploit a slight advantage that can mean the difference between victory and defeat. I've covered this concept in previous videos at least once, but think it's time to expand on those thoughts and pull back the curtain just a little bit on the specifics of some of our secrets to success. The title of this video is an inequality that reads 1 + 1 is greater than 2. Of course, this is mathematical nonsense, but philosophically it is the underlying message of this video. Mathematically this is definitionally impossible, but in Battlefield and really any framework in life, game or otherwise, this should be the goal of superior players. Developing individual skills is paramount to personal success, but games like Battlefield emphasize that players are in fact a gear in the machine of their team. While a player of highly disproportionate skill might be able to work over teams of lesser players, when that player is faced with a team of opponents closer to his own skill level, he's going to need a little bit more than his own abilities will serve him. Against a team of superior players, he's going to need even more than that. Symbiosis is not like a skill that you can intentionally develop, at least not in the traditional sense of the word. It is a bridge between players that grows naturally as they work together and spend time together and build trust, as well as an understanding of each other's methodologies and tendencies. It is difficult to articulate in words, but in some cases this can be more valuable to a team than marginally higher ability. This is especially true of helicopter pilots and tank crews, but it can be equally applicable to any group of players in a squad working together towards a common goal. Even when playstyles are averaged out and normalized as more successful patterns take precedence, each individual expression of a given playstyle template will have its own flavor unique to the player. Taking my helicopter as an example, I fly almost exclusively with Sirius Animus, formerly known as Sony. We've been flying together for the better part of a year now during our formative experiences with Battlefield 3, and as a result we're each familiar with each other's strengths and weaknesses and preferences for handling various common situations. The first thing that he had to learn flying with me is that if our helicopter is destroyed, we die. Period. There's no bailing out of the helicopter to avoid getting killed. If you're a pilot and you've ever flown with a new gunner, or worse yet, a random gunner, you know exactly what I'm talking about. As soon as you get locked, and especially if you get disabled, your gunner will eject and leave you in the dust, even if you're in a pretty standard situation in which you'd ordinarily be in no real danger of death. It happens to me all the time, and in fact, it's the surest way of getting a blueberry to get out of the helicopter when one happens to jump in ahead of Sirius. Similarly, I've had to learn how Sirius likes to be lined up on targets for both the cannon and TV missile shots. I've also learned how he describes the various areas of the maps that we play, so I can reduce the time between him trying to send me a message and the time I can hear it, understand it, and react to it. If he gets tongue-tied trying to tell me something important, and vice versa, it's common for me to know what he's going to say before he says it, simply because we've already been in the situation or similar situations many times before. This is also important for advanced maneuvers, especially advanced maneuvers, one of which in particular concerns emergency landings in extremely hostile environments. If we get disabled, whether it be by a Stinger, a jet, or another helicopter, or even a tank, and we can see that we just do not have enough time to land and fully repair the helicopter safely, I can jump out, he can switch seats and use his extinguisher, then he can land and pick me up and switch back, and then I can do a little bit of extra repairing with my torch if I need to before we take off. But the benefit of this is that it does not require me to repair the helicopter back completely to 100% before I can safely fly it again. Where there is a greedy jet pilot trying to finish us off, this can get us back in the air a whole few seconds faster, which just may give us the chance to fight out of a very dangerous and disadvantaged situation. A maneuver like that only takes a little bit of practice to pull off, but it takes strong teamwork and trust to make the move as efficient and fast as possible. To be sure, symbiosis is an important part of a strong team, squad, or crew. The express difference that it makes may only be arbitrary and won't necessarily make you win against truly superior opponents, but in terms of probabilities, it just may be the element of your gameplay that lets you pull ahead in the last second for a one-ticket victory. Play hard and play together. Strong teams are better than good players. And as always, thanks for watching.
We have taken the objective.